The Boohoo Effect here. This is the last of a two-part series of the mindset of a cyberbully. Maybe in 3 parts, we'll see how it goes. Now, this video will contain more of specific people, what they have done, and some of my personal experiences with them, mainly Forrest and Katie, whom a few are already fully aware of. People like Katie and Forrest are much, much more than your average dysfunctional products that was manifested throughout their childhood, no doubt. They also exhibit extreme traits of psychopathic behavior, in which is basically defined as a person with an antisocial personality disorder, especially one manifested in perverted, criminal, or amoral behavior, or a mentally unbalanced person who is inclined towards antisocial and criminal behavior, in which them being on the internet day and night would clearly explain the antisocial part, would it not? Both of them literally does not possess the capabilities of telling the truth or to feel genuine compassion for others. They will do whatever it takes to manipulate, control, and convince everyone that what they are doing is not only justified, but a mere defense on their part. And their natural habit of lying is just a small part of their mental makeup. Yes, Katie and Forrest are now quite known for backstabbing the very ones who considers them to be their internet friends. Most clear-headed people just stays clear away from them both. But the ones who does stick by their side, who may even defend them or even troll with them, obviously harbors their very own set of mental health issues. It cannot be any other way being connected with these two, especially knowing what they're all about. No normal person with a set of basic and decent morals would be nowhere near these two, for there is no commonality between good and bad, is there? Now, Forrest and Katie are not together by accident. These two have so much in common that they find it almost virtually impossible to conduct themselves on the internet without each other. For there is not many like them, or could truly stand to be around them for any length of time. Yes, they have many, many things in common. And I'm not talking about the more normal things. No, these two share things that are very dark and sinister. Things like tormenting people, even to the brink of suicide. And they feel no remorse in doing so. Because for one, they have already convinced themselves that they have done nothing wrong in their minds. Believe it or not, how pathetic. But in reality, they have serious blood on their hands, like the connection with Chang 13A's demise with Katie. Or how about Brianna Greyhouse's demise with Forrest? And they have done nothing wrong, right? Forrest is the same person who tried it with June Yankee and Stigma Buster, the same year Brianna Greyhouse had taken her life. Yes, Forrest was busy that year, wasn't he? Forrest succeeded in breaking down June Yankee, who was known from her own videos for suffering deep depression problems. If you actually saw when June Yankee got on camera in an obvious disturbed and distraught state that I have witnessed myself, you would know what I'm talking about. Both Forrest and Katie tried it with Tiffany and Gam as well. Again, Gam or Pam, Pam being her real first name, just in recent months was on the brink of suicidal threats by the hands of Katie, who later admitted that her goal was to try and get Pam to take her own life. That came out of her own mouth, just like she recently tried with Tiffany Mosier. But Katie is the same person who preaches about disloyalty and friendship to others. You see the kind of warped thinking here? Katie will justify these serious actions. Just ask her. She'll tell you of one story after the other. Fact is, when Katie joined her Smiley gang, she gradually caused so much infighting within the ranks that Mike and Annie, who were two of the main players of this game, was permanently done with her and finally kicked her right out because they realized she isn't worth it, even for cyberbullies like themselves. Now, how telling is that? Cyberbullies getting sick of Katie. This is a fact. She tried to turn to Gam for comfort, though, until she, too, dumped her for the same reasons. Chang 13A clearly stated how much Katie and Phil hurt him when they passed around his childhood confessional video they ripped from his blog TV. He said this. He stated this in 2 of his videos. For what reason? Did they do this to Chang? For merely talking to an old friend that they hated. Yes, Katie, along with her boyfriend at the time, they attacked him with this information that Chang confessed to. Katie was also the fictitious Adebnoset, spelled with the first letter being A. After death, Katie is now blaming deceased Chang to be the fake channel, after I bust her out on being that fictitious channel that was used by her to set up Chang. All to not take the rightful blame. Katie tried to set up Chang by using his 11-year-old sister to be the tool. To do so, she made the mistake in a comment from that fake channel, stating that his niece was 12 years old and not 11 years old, in which 11 years old was her real age. She did not do her homework too well in that area, did you, Katie? Chang stated her real age himself by anonymously stalking his 11-year-old sister, thus getting Chang 13A himself to accuse others to be the perpetrators, like myself, when Katie posted a comment onto my channel using the fictitious channel, spelled as B-Dev-Null-Set, instead of starting with an A, it started with a B, using that channel. Katie's setup was now in play as planned. Chang 13A did exactly what Katie wanted him to do, to accuse others. This is what paved the way for the accused to troll Chang back in response. They simply had to coerce Chang 13A himself to accuse others to be the perpetrators. When the comment was posted on my channel using this fictitious B-Dev-Null-Set channel, banking that I would just delete it and not notice that it was started with a B, and that's exactly what happened, because they knew that I would just delete out slanderous accusations. We all know Chang never used a channel that was spelled as B-Dev-Null-Set. It was just another one of Katie's deviant, implemented schemes to set up her friends with their adversaries in the same ruthless fashion when her and her online boyfriend at the time, Phil, whose YouTube handle name was Mr. Anonymous Dick, passed around Chang 13A's child abuse confessions that was ripped into a video from his blog TV show. Yes, they passed this down to all his enemies like Single Dad, then on to Tesla coils. It makes perfect sense when you really think about it all, on how Katie is completely capable of accusing her so-called friend Chang 13A of stalking her own kids at their school. The fact of the matter is, Katie is well known for creating elaborate schemes to get back and attack whoever she has it in for at the time being. This is her mode of operation, because often in the past, she cannot do things on her own accord, because she does it behind the scenes, because she has to. Behind people's backs, trying to manipulate and orchestrate her sinister goals. Her ways is to backstab them. All the secret Skype recordings she did behind every one of her friends' backs was only a small glimpse into what is truly in Katie's heart. That action is nothing to a person like Katie and what she's capable of. Even crotch vomit, who Katie now claims to have no concern about despite being the very one who stalked her family. She too grew tired of Katie's backstabbing and manipulative ways and left. That is saying a lot. In the end, Crotch Vomit just appeased her because Katie was holding illegal Skype recordings over her head and everyone else's for control, power, and blackmail. All those that was a part of this group that was supposed to be Katie's friend, they too all learned the hard way that Katie will continue to deny and justify everything, convincing herself based off of conjured up justifications. In Katie's mind, nothing, and I mean nothing, was and is ever her very own fault. And most everyone has now stalked her kids to date, according to Katie. So far, Katie has gradually accused different ones of this. First, it was Pam and UK Troll. Then Crotch Vomit, when they were at odds with each other. Then myself, right after I separated myself from her. This was at a time when she claimed she had changed for the better. The latest, she is now claiming to have stalked her kids now? A daisy cutter, who was very, very close to her at the time in times past. Yes, now, a daisy cutter has also stalked Katie's kids, according to her. She even blamed Chang 13A for stalking her children at their school. That was testimony from Crotch Vomit herself. Really? The rightful question is now, who hasn't Katie accused of stalking her kids? Suspicious part of it all is how would people even obtain pictures and the names of her kids in the first place? Rumor had it that Katie trolled her very own kids on Facebook to set up her current targets at the time. It's really easy to believe when you really think about it, going by all Katie's shady history. These defective personality traits and actions of hers is exactly why she truly harbors deep criminal and psychopathic behavior. She does not possess the sincere ability to feel pain for others, nor does she feel what all she does to others is wrong at all. Just read her posts. Everything she does that would be considered wrong on her part is somehow justified in her mind. She'll say either, well, they deserve it for what they've done to me. Yes, this person will flat out lie that she had never ever done anything wrong to anyone. Nothing ever applies to herself. Her online boyfriend, Forrest Jamison, harbors the same warped mindset. It's like Bonnie meets Clyde, and they are proud of what they stand for. That is how sadistic their mindset is. But I'm going to have to end it right here. I don't like to post lengthy videos that goes past the 15-minute mark. I'll see you in the next video.